Short leaves taste good like a beer should.
You said it. Lucky Strike means fine tobacco.
Try a frosty cold glass of Bavarian right away.
That you say? No Boulder Dash or baloney here.
Cheers, everyone, and welcome to the Unfiltered Gentleman. And now, with a higher BAC than your ABV, Greg, Scott, and Dan.
That's right. Welcome in, everybody. We are the Unfiltered Gentlemen. Thanks for listening. Thanks for drinking along. I am Greg. Over there, that's Scott.
Hello.
And that's Dan.
Buenos dias.
Oh, see.
Oh, wow.
Appealing to our Mexico City audience.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes. Speaking of our audience, shout out to, and I think this might be the first time or maybe second time, Ventura, California.
Ooh. Oh, shit.
Keeping it local to us over here.
The Big V.
Yeah,
Right
top
there.
Big V. Top listenership for last week was the city of Ventura.
Nice.
So thanks for hanging and listening and all that good stuff with us. Don't forget to hashtag show us your beers when you're on the social medias and you're putting up pictures of all your delicious beers that you're drinking. Also, don't forget to tag us in those pictures as well. Our burp word of the week. If you haven't listened to the show before, we do a burp word of the week so that if anybody burps on air, it has to be an attempt at that word. Basically, because Scott likes to throw up on the microphone. Mm-hmm. The burp word is Guten Tag.
Oh, shit.
Guten Tag. Hello.
Love it.
Yeah, hello in German. There's two reasons for that. One, we'll talk about our weekend.
Oh, yeah.
And two is some breaking news from Stone Brewing.
Oh,
We'll
wow.
get to that.
Oh, snap.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. So
Okay.
we'll get exactly, Larry David. We'll get to that in just a few. First, though, I think we're all looking pretty parched
Yes.
around the table here. Let's get things going.
Grab your libations, pals. It's time for beer of the week.
And if you're drinking, well, you know that you're my friend. And I'll say, I think I'll have myself a beer.
We are having ourselves a beer.
Delicious.
Dan is very happy
Oh,
about
yeah.
this one. We are drinking Toppling Goliath's I'm going to fuck this up. Mozee IPA. M-O-Z-E-E. Mozee.
Oh, Mozee.
Mozee IPA. I wanted to call it like Mousy. Mozee IPA. 6.8%, 60 IBUs.
Oh.
Has a 4.29 on Beer Advocate. Has a 4.15 on Untapped. From the brewery, Toppling Goliath says, Mozee, if I get that right, harmonizes two of our favorite hops in a unique and explosive way. Nelson Sauvin hop provides white wine-esque notes with grapefruit and kiwi flavor.
Oh, yeah.
This pairs together with Mosaic's hops flavor of mango and pineapple. These hops are meant for each other, and this beer is meant for you.
Yes.
I'd say this beer is meant for Dan.
Yeah.
There you go.
I
know.
like it. I'll agree to that.
Yeah.
I'll drink to that.
You know, it's funny. A lot of times we read the descriptions and it's like, oh, flavors of blah, blah, blah. And then you go on and you're like, all right, I got like maybe 3 of those, you know? Like, okay, I got the grapefruit. I get all those flavors. I get a little white wine, a little kiwi.
Get it all.
I do. I really was surprised by how much I got. Definitely get some mango and pineapple and other tropicalness.
Yeah, and you can see it in the beer.
That's what they're calling it these days.
Yeah. You know, you can see it. Like it's got like a very thick haze to it. Like, it almost looks like, you know, hey, almost looks like some orange juice. You know, maybe
It's got a little juice going.
put some in a solo cup and say, hey, no, officer, this is orange juice.
I always drink orange juice out of a solo cup while I'm driving.
Yeah, look at the effervescence from the orange.
Right.
Yes, I drink it every morning. What's
Put a
wrong?
couple of pulp pieces in there, you're good to go.
Yeah. In fact, I have some chunks. Looks like just from some sediment in there. So,
Was that right?
yeah, I don't know if you guys do, but
Oh, yeah, a little
a
bit.
little bit. It's not like super gross like some
No.
of the East Coast IPAs you get, but yeah,
well,
a little bit of sediment in
Should
there.
I ask for it? It better be in here. Right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. You ask and you shall have. There is your pulp. Put it in a solo cup and hit the road.
Yes, indeed.
Scott, what say you?
I love it.
Drink a couple of these.
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
I think I'll mosey on over and have another.
There you go.
I see what you did there. I see what you did. I love everything Toppling Goliath does. You know, they have Pseudo Sue we've had on the show.
yeah.
Delicious. Had a few others. So this is right up there.
Yep, that's a name you can trust.
Toppling Goliath?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You should do their commercials for them.
Yeah, slowly delivering their mottos.
You could be their pitch man.
Yeah, you can see it in the beer.
That's what they call it. The beer. All right. Thank you, Toppling Goliath. Let's move our way into some crotch talk.
Have a grievance to share? It's time for crotch talk.
First of all, before any grievances, in fact, not a real grievance. I wanted to, just a huge thank you to John and Brittany and Chris and Matt and Michaela and everybody over at Enegren Brewing for throwing on one hell of a Frühlingsfest.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun.
Full show.
We had our booth there. Dan and I, as well as Shannon, was there, pressing the flesh, kissing babies. Not really. That's creepy. Meeting the listeners, meeting hopefully some new listeners, taking some pictures at the Alpine photo booth, recorded.
Interesting people.
Yeah. Recorded some drunk stories, a couple of good ones. We had a stand-up comedian drop by.
I know, right?
Record a drunk story for us.
That was epic.
Yeah, putting us on to shame with his storytelling abilities. So those will start rolling out in the next, couple of few weeks, just like it did after Oktoberfest. So look forward to those. And then after Frühlingsfest, which was, honestly, I think it was a little better than Oktoberfest. We had a booth at Oktoberfest also, which was more crowded, but the crowd that was there on Saturday for Frühlingsfest was just really cool and a lot more chill and laid back, and they wanted to come over and like find out about, like they're really interested in it, and I don't know, just everybody was a little more easygoing. That's what I would say. Oktoberfest by like 6 o'clock, people were nuts. Like they were just getting hammered. Where this year, or for Frühlingsfest, it was a little more laid back. People were just there having a good time.
Yep,
and
it was just Michael.
Just listener Michael.
Yeah.
He was the one getting hammered.
Yeah.
Representing for all the drunk people out
Correct.
there. Yeah. He was really keeping that going for them. We had a lot of fun. Like I said, we had a comedian stop by, and listener Michael was there and told me to stop calling him listener Mike.
I know. So we've obliged.
Yeah. So we're doing our best to.
Prefers listener Michael?
Prefers Michael.
Okay.
He couldn't stop talking about my balls either. I don't know what was wrong with him.
He did bring up your balls
Wow.
a lot.
A lot.
There's a lot of ball talk.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, that was kind of weird. What else? Yeah, it was just a lot of
So
fun.
I almost have to date him now because my balls are in his mouth so long.
Or lose his number, one or the other.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so
Gotta ghost him.
yeah, exactly. So it was a lot of fun, and glad we could be there. Thanks to Enegren for having us back out there and giving us a booth again. Also, that same day, man, that was a long day. Set up, did that all day in the heat, wearing my leather shorts. Leather shorts in the heat, man. That'll give you some funk. Then tear down, come back, let the dogs out, all that good stuff. Then we went over to Five Threads to check up on the Booze League Brewtenanny that was going on over there. Hung out with, of course, Wiley, the commish, Nick and Nicole, Big Nick, excuse me, who was, the star of our fantasy football league this
Wasn't
year.
he
I think
MVP?
Won
I was
2
like,
games.
wait a minute.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, sarcasm.
Yeah, exactly. So, and everybody else over there, that was a good time as well. If anybody is also a listener of Beer Harmony, I swear this is not a cheap plug. Or in fact, if you're not a listener of Beer Harmony, you probably got like a weird little surprise on your Unfiltered Gentleman podcast feed last week. Wednesday, some wires got crossed. And the Beer Harmony show went up first on the Unfiltered Gentleman feed. So, maybe we got some new listeners out of it. I don't know.
Dang.
It was discovered a few hours later and then taken down and put back onto Beer Harmony's account or whatever. So, whoops. Sorry about that.
Oopsies.
It was not a really sad attempt at trying to get new listeners, I promise. I do much sadder things than that. So
I might not have noticed because for some reason I get Beer Harmony like 2 or 3 times.
I do too.
Isn't that weird?
I subscribe to all of my own shows and whatever, and I'll listen to it the day it drops, mainly just for like quality control and make sure I didn't fuck anything up. And then like a week later, it'll say I have a new episode. Like, well, I know I don't because I post it. I can guarantee you. And then it'll be there again. It's so weird.
Yeah, I'll do that. A new episode. Okay. Wait. No, I think I've heard.
Are you using the Apple Podcast app?
I am.
Yeah, I am too.
Yeah.
I think it's
They really
something
like
with,
you guys.
Yeah, I know. They're really trying to force those numbers.
Dang.
I think it's something with that app because it's not the only show I've noticed that with.
Oh,
I've
really?
noticed it with like 1 or 2 other shows that I listen to where I'm like, I'm already listening to this shit. Why are you telling me I have a new episode to listen to?
All right.
So I think it's some weird bug with Apple. I don't get, you know what? It must be shows that don't release weekly because Beer Harmony's every other week. Because
oh, really?
I don't get it with the Unfiltered Gentleman. I don't get it with any of the other weekly shows I listen to. The other one I got it with was a show that went on hiatus for like a few months. And then like 2 weeks into their hiatus, it said new episode. I was like, oh, cool. They must release a bonus episode. Like, oh, no, I've already fucking listened to that. Thank you. Thank you so much for getting my hopes up for nothing. So come on, Apple.
Yeah.
Get your shit together.
Get with it.
Mm-hmm. Get with the times. So there's my grievance.
Oh, there we go.
Apple.
Take that.
Oh, boy. Here we go.
Technology in general, man. We had Twitter. We got Apple now.
Yeah.
Everybody's letting us down.
Yeah, Twitter really fucked us hard.
That's right.
Yeah. Whew. Come on, guys. Pull it together.
Yeah.
Any other grievances? We feeling good?
Yeah.
Other than just life in general, I think I'm okay.
Right. Yeah. The whole aging process. And,
Yeah.
As we record, it is tax day. Is everybody filed?
Oh, yeah.
I'm good. Yeah, I'm in good shape.
I don't know that. I know we talked about your filing, Scott.
Yes, we did. Yes.
And I think I mentioned that I filed early, but
oh, yeah.
Dan, yet to be determined?
No. I'm good.
TikTok, buddy.
Yeah. No, it was funny because I kind of had like a stumbling moment, I think, last week for whatever reason.
I get those a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably for different reasons, though.
Right. No, I'm good.
Got it all squared away.
Yep.
Glad
all
to
squared away.
All right.
Glad to hear. Did you get raped?
No.
Oh, good.
No.
You know what's funny? I heard a lot of people getting raped. They're like, oh, we owe this year for the first time and all this stuff. And I know the tax laws changed. I've noticed that it was all married couples that had to like owe as opposed to, yeah, we're, my lady friend and I are not married yet. And we're not owing. I wonder if that's where the tax law is starting to fuck people. I don't know. I was like, shit, maybe we shouldn't get married. Cancel the wedding.
You want to get married? You got to give me the money. I want half.
Exactly. So,
Yeah,
all right.
It's kind of weird this year, but yeah.
It was weird.
Yeah. I didn't get as much back, but I don't know. I always like claim exempt like halfway through the year or something like that. So like I tried to like not get double dip for the taxes on the refund.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I do it by design, and I didn't get as much back, but I also didn't know. So I was afraid. I was like, oh shit, am I gonna owe this year?
Right.
But
yeah,
no,
I've always heard from like money people, you want to not owe, but also not get anything back.
Correct.
Like that's financially the best. But it is nice getting a little chunk of change.
It is. Yeah, I missed it this year.
Yeah. All right. That's it for Crotch Talk then.
Oh, snaps.
Old timey word of the week. Natty lads.
Hmm?
Which I was like, this must be something to do with crappy beer.
Yeah.
Not. It's a young thieves or pickpockets.
Oh, snaps.
Yeah, ye old natty lads.
Natty lads.
Stop those natty lads.
That's a good one.
Or don't say it too fast and call them laddie nads.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah, you're
would not be
right.
good. Yeah. Stop those natty lads. They just took my wallet.
Natty lads.
Natty lads. It sounds funny.
Yeah.
And also more to say than pickpocket or thief.
Yeah, you're right.
Right. Stop that thief. Stop that natty lad.
Yeah, thief is easier to say.
Right. Yeah.
Natty lad, help me.
Yeah. Starts sounding like Natty Light and
Yeah,
just not
people
good.
start giving you cheap beer.
Right, exactly.
Here you go, sir.
Yeah. No. It's like, okay.
Okay.
All right, let's craft things up. Yeah, actually, let's craft things up and class things up. There's nothing better than a babe with craft beer. It's time for Beer Babe of the Week. It is indeed time for Beer Babe of the Week. This week's Beer Babe is Cass. You can find her on the grams at Craft Beer Cass. All one word, no spaces, dots, dashes, nothing like that. Craft Beer Cass, C-A-S-S. And she is also drinking a Toppling Goliath.
Oh, wow.
I think. That's what it looks like, at least.
Quinkadink.
Yeah, I can hardly see it in the picture, but it looks like the dude that's...
Which is interesting, because most times they take those pictures, they're very proud of what they're drinking.
Right.
She's like, hey, I'm just trying to get this in.
Yeah. I'm just trying to drink this.
Yeah.
Yeah. I find that more attractive, actually.
Not too fancy with the, the
like,
positioning of the bottle.
Just drink it.
Yeah. All right, I scrolled down. I found the tag. It is Toppling Goliath.
All right.
We're all
Snaps.
drinking the same thing.
Boom.
Mazel tov. So make sure you're following at Craft Beer Cass, C-A-S-S, on the grams, because I don't think you'll be sorry if you do.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I think this is 2 weeks in a row now. Have you seen the latest moving picture? Let's talk movies for guys.
All right, so last week I reviewed Death Wish, starring Charles Bronson. You ever meet Jesus Christ? You're about to meet him. Pow. It was such a good movie.
And a great trailer.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it like single-handed. Like, if I ever buy a gun, it's going to be because of Death Wish. Like, it just made me, like, understand.
Hope
Like,
they don't ask you the reason for gun purchasing on the application form.
Death Wish, Charles Bronson.
Yeah. Reason? Charles Bronson.
Like, I totally understood all my friends that are, like, that have their CCW, like, carry concealed weapon.
Uh-huh.
Like, yeah, you know, that movie just proved to you.
Right.
Like, hey, if you own a gun, you're a doer.
I guess so.
You're not going to wait for the law to step in. You're going to take it into your own hands.
That's right.
Beautiful movie. Anyways, this past weekend, I watched 2 movies.
Oh, my God.
Oh, boy.
2 freaking movies that are out right now in theaters.
Near you.
Wow.
Yeah, right? One was, and it's funny because they're all kind of the same a little bit. 2 superhero movies.
Okay.
Both came out pretty much the same weekend almost. I'm not too sure. But
like a week apart.
yeah,
or two.
but they're from the opposite. Like, one is DC Comics, that's Shazam.
Oh.
And then the other one was it's part of Marvel, which was Captain Marvel, obviously.
I see.
Yeah. What's interesting about those 2 movies, actually, is that trivia here is at one point, both superheroes were called Captain Marvel.
Really?
Oh, really?
Yeah, isn't that weird?
Shazam was Captain Marvel?
Yeah, it was.
Really?
Yeah, but they had to change the name because I think after Marvel said, hey, our fucking name is Marvel, you fucking copycats.
If you haven't noticed.
Yeah, so they bought the rights to it, and then so DC had to change it over to Shazam.
What a horrible name.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, and it's funny, yeah, because that's a movie that already it had like 2 strikes for me. It was like, okay, DC, like already I don't like most of their movies. Like most people liked Wonder Woman. I was not a fan.
It was fine. It was
Right.
too long.
Right.
Yeah.
And then, but all their other movies sucked. Like Batman versus Superman was a
Right.
pile of dog shit.
Right.
And then Suicide Squad was terrible. So I was like, all right, so this, I don't even know who Shazam is. That's a dumb name to begin with. Like, this movie's off to a bad start. Boy, was I wrong.
Oh.
Yeah, this movie was actually pleasant. It was a pleasant surprise. It really was.
I've heard it's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Starring Chuck.
Chuck?
Isn't that the guy, the show he used to be on, Chuck?
Oh, yeah. I was trying to figure out where the fuck he was from. That's right. He was Chuck. Oh, my God. Yeah, I said starring Chuck. It's a movie about this kid. It reminds me of, like, Big and Superman, kind of like where this kid ends up getting these powers to become a superhero, but, like, you know, he becomes this big, strong superhero, but he's still a kid inside. You know what I mean? So it's really cool watching him and his friend kind of like discover the powers that have been given to him. You know what I mean? And like, yeah, he just like
coming of age superhero movie.
Correct. And I think maybe that's why I enjoyed it a little bit because I wasn't even too sure who Shazam was.
Right.
You know, so like the origin.
I thought that was a Shaq movie.
I was gonna say, did Shaq do a movie called Shazam?
I think that's Kazam.
That's Kazam. Yeah.
Kazam, Shazam.
It's pretty close.
But when I first heard it was coming out, I was like, they're redoing that awful Shaq movie.
Who's playing this one? LeBron?
Yeah.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Might as well.
Yeah. Missed about as many free throws.
Right. No, this one was really cool though, man. Like I feel like this is a movie like it's not like, you know, it's not like Deadpool, obviously.
Right.
Where it's not as violent or anything like that. It's not even, you know, there's a scene where he's like, "Oh, I'm old enough. I'm going to go buy some beer." You know, because he steps in his superhero suit. He's like trying to buy beer. Eventually, he saves the cashier's life and just gets some beer. And okay, thank you. And he shares it with his friend, and they immediately just like spit it out because they're like 14 years old, and they don't like the taste. So they go back in and get some candy and soda and everything. So in addition, you know, he's not Wolf Cop obviously because Wolf Cop would have killed that shit.
Clearly.
Oh my God. Yeah, he's just a superhero of men right there.
Right.
But Shazam, yeah, really, really funny movie. It's a movie for everybody, I think. You know, take the whole fam bam. If you got some kids, go watch some Shazam. And you can tell it's a good movie because I'm not going to spoil too much more about it. Moving on to Captain Marvel, spoiler alert, because you know what? That's what I like to do. I like to spoil bad movies so you don't have to go and watch them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What a good man.
Yeah. So Captain Marvel, I had I had low expectations for this because this is coming on the eve of the Endgame. Avengers Endgame, which is supposed to, you know, that was the whole sequel to Infinity
the
War
big
from
finale,
last year.
right?
Yeah, big finale, big finish, and once it's done, dude,
Everybody loves a big finish.
yeah, happy endings, right? All around. Once this one's done, dude, I'm jumping off this whole Marvel train. I'm done.
Oh,
yeah, because Captain Marvel's one of those movies where I didn't want to watch it, but I felt like I fucking had to at this point. Like,
might miss something.
Yeah, and you know what? I gotta tell you, if you're one of those people that are just like, I have to watch it before Endgame, no, you don't. Yeah, basically, it's what you think is the movie. It's a 2-hour explanation why Captain Marvel is Avengers' secret weapon. Basically, that's it. You just know that she was going to be strong. There's a reason why she's, coming in, and there's going to be some resolution. I felt like I said, spoiler alerts, I felt like this movie would have done some justice had they maybe had her fail or something like that at the end of the movie. Like, I was looking forward to
make her human or human-ish.
Or she doesn't understand her powers yet or something.
Sure.
Like, like, oh shit, like she totally fucked up and she's supposed to save the Avengers, you know what I mean? Save the world. Yeah, the fuck right. You know what I mean? But totally didn't do any of that. And there's just some, like, I felt like there was some bad writing even in it. Like, there was there was this chick who's Captain Marvel's friend.
Okay.
And she asked her, oh, you need to come help me, like you fly jets or something like that. And then she's like, I don't know, I'm a mom now, and her daughter's right there, and her daughter's like, oh, what kind of example would you be setting for me if you didn't go? This is like the mission of a lifetime.
How old's her daughter?
That's what she's like 6 or something.
Okay,
like
shut
that.
up.
That's what I was saying. I was
like what a 16-year-old would say.
Yeah, I was saying, like, first off, shut up when grown folks are talking. Number 2, like, hey, mommy likes being your mommy, and this suicide mission you want mommy to go on might leave you a fucking orphan.
Yeah.
So maybe I should think about it a little bit before I go out and do it. You know what I mean? So, I don't know, just totally predictably, she's, oh yeah, now I'm going to do it. I was like, this is kind of dumb.
Little cheesy, maybe.
Correct.
All
I mean,
right.
there were some good jokes where they called the cats, it seemed like the enemy, the villains, they were afraid of the cats for whatever reason.
Okay.
They call them flurkins. And then it was funny because they scanned, like Samuel L. Jackson, it says, it's a species, human, threat level, low. And he's like, I think that thing is broken. And then they scan the cat, and he says, species, flurkin, threat level, high.
Jeez.
And then they put like a Hannibal Lecter mask on the cat. It was really funny. So
Cat turns into Bane.
Yeah. So it was really cool. Like that part was fun.
Oh.
But I felt like a lot of the writing, like I felt like a lot of the catchphrases were kind of forced from Captain Marvel. It didn't really bring a lot new to the table the way Shazam did. I felt like, this was, a new spin on that. And like I said, if you have a choice, watch Shazam, and then you're not missing anything. I basically gave you the whole thing of Captain Marvel.
You can red box Captain Marvel if you have to watch it.
Yeah, exactly. Or ask your friend and give you a cliff notes on it. It's not a big deal.
So it sounds like you drank along with Shazam.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And then kind of drank a little to get through Captain Marvel.
A little bit.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I'd not heard any negative reviews of Captain Marvel yet.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, yeah, I was not pleased.
You're the first misogynist to tell your story.
I'm getting kind of ornery with my reviews.
How dare you?
Yeah, my older age.
That's right. It'll do it to you.
I might have walked out on Shazam when they spit the beer out. That's hard for me to watch.
Go demand a refund.
Yeah,
sir,
right.
what's wrong? They spit out the beer.
Yeah, immediately popped in Wolf Cop.
Yeah.
Gotta see a superhero do it right.
Yeah. They spit out the beer. Have you never heard of Will Scott poured out? It never gets poured out.
I can't stand alcohol abuse.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
Oh, geez. All right. From there, why don't you say we get over to some sports?
Sure.
And now, the sports, brought to you by cleaninguptheglass.com.
Whether it's the Baltimore Chop or the 1-2 punch, it's time for sports.
Speaking of cleanuptheglass.com,
Yes.
one Nostradamus
That's right.
has posted two new articles, really.
Correct.
But one new one about how bad you were at the beginning of the year.
Yeah, it was hilarious. Like at the beginning of the year, like middle October, I predicted basically what's going to happen in the NBA playoffs, and very poorly, I might add, where there's a lot of things that there's no fucking way are going to happen. I had Melo having a really bad game in his first round series against the Thunder, which he's not even playing anymore. He was out in like 2 weeks. So it's really fun to kind of go back and laugh at what I got wrong. And hey, I actually got some things right too, which was really weird.
Yeah, I'd say.
Yeah, like I had Indiana Pacers placing 5th, like just like a weird thing like that. And I was like, oh shit, they are 5th. How did I do that? Like, so that was pretty cool. But
and they're giving Boston a little bit of a run right now.
Yeah. It's pretty interesting. So I just kind of went back in and edited and laughed at a lot of that stuff. I also did write about Magic Johnson's exit from the Lakers, and I kind of I compared Jeannie Buss a little bit to
I like that.
Don Corleone. Oh, thank you. Yeah, so it's just kind of showing like, just the little similarities where, Don Corleone killed his brother, Jeannie Buss fired her brother, They got the family.
I'd have been okay if
business.
she killed her brother too.
Yeah, right.
Let's
I
be
think
honest.
most Laker fans would have been.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I just little comparisons, little movie clips from Godfather, so you don't have to get too confused if you've never seen the movie. So
That'd be me.
That's in there too.
People like me appreciate the movie clips.
Yeah, I bet.
Very much so. All right. Tiger wins the Masters after like 15 years of not winning shit. Or 11 years of not winning anything, I guess.
Well, he's back.
Yeah, does anybody care?
No.
No? Nobody's a golf watcher?
Not really.
No, me neither. I can't stand it. Don't care. It's too slow.
Don't like to watch it. Don't like to play it.
Nope.
Don't even like to hear the word.
I love when people all of a sudden become golf fans when the Masters are on.
Right.
It's like they don't ever watch or play golf, and all of a sudden, like, oh, I got to watch the Masters. Like, why? Why now?
Yeah, like Bill Simmons.
Yeah.
I mean, let's put him on blast.
Yeah, come on, Bill.
Take that.
Yeah, it's like, okay, you didn't care up until now. Why care now?
Yeah, and then like
It's still golf.
and then the thing ended. I don't know. It's called PGA Tour or whatever. I don't know.
Sure, why not?
And then he's like, "So what do we do now?" And someone's like, I think the Boston Celtics are in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Don't you care about them?"
Especially Bill.
How about,
Yeah.
how about get a life?
Yeah.
How about go back to just not watching golf?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And all the sponsors like Nike are like, oh, what a comeback story. This is like the sports story of the decade and blah, blah, blah. Like, do you guys remember why he's been shitty for so long? Because
Yeah.
he kind of had some life struggles that you fired him over, Nike.
Right. Yeah.
And then picked him back up later. But yeah, it's a little
Isn't that kind of
interesting.
dumb how people like terminate them and then like after some time passes, they're like, well, let's get back on that bandwagon again.
Yeah, WWE and Hulk Hogan.
It's true.
He's back.
Hey, he needs money.
Oh, yeah.
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 He does, brother.
Yeah, brother. What else? Oh, good news for Dan and
Oh,
the rest
yeah.
of the NBA fans.
Here we go.
Zion has declared he will be draftable.
It's all coming together.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Nostradamus.
Yeah, that's phase 1 of fixing the NBA right there.
All right.
Phase 2, taking out Harden's knees.
Well, phase 2 is him getting drafted to the Knicks as opposed to the Suns because that would be a nightmare. And then phase 3 would be James Harden dying.
The good thing, the good thing if he went to the Suns though, is for some reason the Lakers and the Suns have a pretty good trade openness. You know,
Why?
we tend to do a lot of trading.
Why?
Well, how about they draft Zion and then we get him?
I know. Well, yeah, I know that I agree with that, but
Yeah.
you're right. Like we're in the same division. Like why does that keep happening?
They should not want to trade with
No,
us.
ever.
Yeah, anybody who's a Sun or a Suns fan is just dumb.
Yeah, even though
Let's
they
be
did win
honest.
that Nash trade.
Are there any left?
Suns
Suns
fans?
fans?
There's got to be one.
Yeah. I
So,
guess.
yeah, they definitely won when they got rid of Nash. That's
Oh
for
yeah,
sure.
they killed us.
Yeah, they taught us a lesson.
That soccer playing bag handler.
No.
Yeah, they got rid of him and their horrible coach.
It's
Yeah.
What a win-win.
Oh man,
Oh, jeez.
what a mess.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of basketball, the Kings announced that Luke Walton is their new head coach.
That was quick.
That didn't take long.
It was almost like an insult.
Yeah, I think it
It
was.
was like,
Yeah,
damn, Lakers,
yeah.
you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah. Vlade was like, what's up?
Yeah,
Come on over.
Yeah.
that's true.
They never played together, right?
No.
Vlade was done by the time Luke was playing.
Yeah.
Well, hang on. No, he was done.
Yeah, I
think.
Because that was one series. Where's one season after the Kings? After he was done with the Kings,
Uh-huh.
he did come back to the Lakers. I remember him wearing
Vlade?
the circus Laker uniform.
For
you know what I mean?
reals?
Yeah, I could swear.
Was it the year that like Malone and all those guys were on the Lakers?
Yeah, it may have been afterwards, which I think Luke Walton was
Oh.
on that team.
I guess I could have done some research, but
I guess we both could have.
yeah. Baseball news: Puig was playing the Dodgers last night. Well, still playing the Dodgers, but was supposed to show up early and get his national championship ring thing, whatever, National League championship ring.
Oh yeah,
And well, he missed it because he was late. Classic
LA traffic,
Puig.
man. It's the LA
isn't that
traffic.
hilarious?
Yeah, that's just Puig in a nutshell.
That's
Yeah, pretty
hilarious.
much.
It's
Yeah.
like why we got rid of him. He
Right.
couldn't even show up for something he actually wants.
Exactly.
Jesus Christ.
I guess he
dude.
doesn't care anymore.
Yeah.
Maybe,
Oh my
maybe his feelings are hurt.
His first at bat, he takes Kershaw yard. That was
Yeah, that was great.
Take
typical
that.
Kershaw.
Mm-hmm.
It's true.
Welcome back, Kershaw.
Yeah,
In true playoff form.
indeed.
Yeah. And finally, Ronda Rousey is going to step away from wrestling for a while because she wants to start a family.
Spit out
Wow.
those kids.
Mm-hmm.
She must be getting dick
She must
down.
make little.
I mean, hey, let's put that out there.
Wow.
Yeah, that must be happening.
Bunch of little Rouseys running around.
Yeah, she's had that career and ambition. Now she's just, hey, I just want to have this guy's kids.
Yeah.
Damn.
Man, two parents that are UFC fighters.
Yeah.
Wow.
Their bedroom must be thrashed.
I think it's a ring.
Yeah, there's a cage around the bed. They sleep in an
It
octagon.
should be.
It really should be. So, yeah. That's it for the sports news. We got some booze news to get to and a bullpen beer. But first, we have a voicemail from Robert, a.k.a. Chew Your Beer.
Hey, what's up, Unfiltered Jets? This is Robert, a.k.a. Chew Your Beer on Twitter and on Tap. Listen to the last show. Just want to say real quick, love your show, Holmes. Amazing show, informative, and just hilarious at the same time. Quick thing, Fontana Jim called in and talked about Line Fest and lines at breweries. The last time I did a line was in the 90s, and that was a white one, Holmes. Also, the only line that I'm down for is a conga line. And here's another thing. Since we're talking about lines, here's an idea for breweries. Instead of a beer tour, let's do a conga line beer tour. So when they walk you through the brewery, it's in a conga line, Holmes, and they're playing some bomb-ass Caribbean music, and you got your beer in your hand, and you're conga down the line, down the brewery, and they're pointing at stuff. What are they? Kind of like doodle juice things, but anyways, Holmes, just letting you know that I love your show. Also, me and Fontana Jim and myself go way back, when you met him, I was supposed to be there at 818 Brewery, but, when you're a father and a husband, shit gets in the way, Life gets in the way of fun. Not life, but your kids and your wives, So if you don't have any, good on you. I'll suffer for you guys. Other than that, family is good, That's it. I just wanted to give you some feedback on lines. White lines are bad. Conga lines are good. What are they? It's Chew Your Beer, and I love your show. You said it. Hey, what's up, fools? It's Chew Your Beer again. I forgot to answer Fontana's question. No, I don't do beer lines. I'm not going to wait in line for a fucking beer, If I can buy your beer at the store, I'm buying it at the store. If I can buy your beer at the brewery, I'm going to buy it. But you're not going to have me waiting no goddamn line. The only lines I probably will wait for is at Disneyland. That's a whole different fucking story. Also, how about a podcast about the retail side version of craft beer, like the bottle shop? Make it happen, Greg. Let's do it. They're waiting. I don't know what's going on. Maybe it's in the works. But I think as a listener, seeing how the cogs work on that side of craft beer homes, how they get the beers and what's the politics of certain beers that come out, and how, I don't know how it happens. Holmes, you walk in, you open the door, and there's a beer, but then you're like, where's this one? And they can't get it. Why? I don't know. They play favorites. I don't know. It'd be a pretty cool segment or show for you guys. That's about it. Don't wait for beer lines, Why do that? Don't do that. That's why this shit's going on. That's why this shit's getting crazy, huh? All right. Chew Your Beer. Like to watch them. Peace out.
No white lines.
That's right.
No beer lines. Only conga lines.
I might have went to high school with Chew Your Beer. Sounds like my kind of people.
You might know this guy.
Yeah.
Did you guys do a conga line at lunch?
No way. Jose. No.
Oh, gosh. They might have done some white lines at lunch. Thanks to Chew Your Beer for calling in. Thanks for the life lessons about getting married as well.
Absolutely.
Gives me some things to think about the coming
Very
months.
wise man.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't come at a more opportune time.
Yeah, I might have to have a talk with the lady friend. Like, sorry, Robert, a.k.a. Chew Your Beer, called in and was just telling me that if I'm not married with kids, then I'm lucky and that he's taking the pain for me. So
Damn.
Get to leave it at that.
Where the hell were you 50 years ago?
So thanks for the life lessons. Also, his question about the bottle shop. Bottle shop is you guessed it, bottle shop down in the valley who has a lot of really good beer. And I've been in contact with them and emailed them. They said they'd get back to me, and they haven't gotten back to me. So if you got some hookups over at the bottle shop, tell them to hit me up, and let's get this interview going as I
hook you up too. Why
kick
not?
something.
Sure.
Yeah, hook it all up. So
hit me and hook me.
Yes. Thanks for calling. If you guys want to call, 805-538-BEER, 2337. Send us your drunk calls, just like Chew Your Beer did.
Show.
All right, speaking of beer, we've got a bullpen beer to get to.
He calls to the bullpen for
beer.
If we're being honest, I think this really is just going to become a Will Dan Pour It Out. Little backstory.
Yeah.
Listener Michael left us a voicemail a few weeks ago saying that Dan had to go to Costco and get this beer.
Correct.
And when we saw listener Michael, not Mike, at Enegren's Frühlingsfest, he brought it over for us. We didn't have to go to Costco ourselves to get it. So, this is for Dan.
Yep.
He wants to know if you like North Coast Brewing's Cranberry-Quince Berliner Weisse, 4.1%, 0 IBUs.
Oh, shit.
3.99 on Beer Advocate, 3.87 on Untapped from North Coast. They say that's the third offering in their spontaneously soured seasonal Berliner Weisse series. The North Coast Brewery Cranberry-Quince Berliner Weisse is made with the juice of Oregon cranberries and the pear-like quince, the perfect accompaniment for your autumn celebrations. Well, it might be a little past autumn, but
yeah,
or maybe we're just early.
Maybe
autumn hasn't happened yet. Anyways, I've had this before.
Autumn happens pretty close to fall.
That's true.
Yeah,
they're right around the same time.
Yeah.
Scott's even had this before.
Have I?
This was the beer that Shannon brought to the New Year's episode. Dan was not there.
No, it wasn't.
So it's time to find out.
Yeah.
Will Dan pour it out?
And I won't.
You won't pour it out?
No. It's pretty good. Like, it's for a sour.
You're right.
You know what I mean? This isn't something I will, hunt for or anything like that. But, yeah, I can drink it.
So if you saw it at a store, and let's say it was like $5 for a bomber, would you pick it up?
No, probably not.
Okay. He's being honest.
Yeah. But, I think what helped, too, is having the first drink that we had where it was, like, kind of juicy.
Yeah.
Where this is kind of the same thing, just more like...
Just like
tart.
juice.
Yeah, correct. But it's still juice.
This is a lot like drinking cranberry juice. It's got that tartness from the cranberry, and, of course, it's a Berliner, and it does taste kind of sweet like the juice. Scott, if I remember correctly, you weren't a huge fan when we had it before.
I was not, and I have not changed my mind.
Glad to hear that you're holding strong over there.
Plus, it's a food that starts with the letter Q. What is a quince? What is a quahog? What is a quail? It's from White Man Can't Jump, where Rosie Perez is playing Jeopardy.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh, good. Dan is a plethora of movie knowledge.
That's right.
Yeah, I think my feelings on it last time where it's fine. It's a little too sweet for my likings. The tartness is not the problem for me. I like a good Berliner.
Right.
But it's a little sweet for my liking.
Oh, as for like a sour?
But just
in general?
It just is a little too much like drinking cranberry juice. I just don't like sweet beers.
I think that's what makes it a little more palatable for me.
Probably.
Yeah, because just when it gets I could taste the tartness, but it's not enough to scare me away.
No, it's very low on the tart scale.
Yeah.
Kind of starts to hit you, then that sweetness takes over and kind of flushes the tart away.
Very tolerable.
Flush that tart. It's very close to tart.
All right.
All right. Well, listener Michael, not Mike, thank you for donating a beer to find out if Dan would pour it out.
He's slowly turning into listener, not Mike.
Yeah. Listener, not Mike. All right. Enough of that.
Yeah, thank you.
Let's move on. Yes, thank you. Let's move on to some breaking booze news. Extra, extra, drink all about it. It's time for booze news. Last week, in a very sudden move, Stone Brewing unloads their Berlin brewery, sells it to Brewdog. No one saw this coming. It was quite a surprise. They'd spent somewhere around $30 million on this brewery and tasting room in a very historic building in Berlin. Says we invested a significant portion of a decade and significant millions building Stone Berlin, and it didn't work out. These things hurt and these things happen. This one happened and this one hurts a lot. This is from Stone's co-founder Greg Koch or Koch. I never know because I'm horrible with names. Could be that too. His blog post was really interesting because he kind of went on to blame Germans for the reason.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, it was a really long blog post, so I won't read it all, but basically went on to say Germany's just not ready for good beer, and there was a problem with construction. Instead of here, when you have construction issues, you kind of work on something else while that's being sussed out. If there's a problem or just even a question, not even a problem, there's a question, all work would stop, and they take days to figure it out.
Wow.
It cost them a lot more money than it was supposed to. And it was just was kind of an interesting blog post, and you got a lot of push. I was reading Twitter about it, and a lot of people were like, dude, you got to blame yourself for fucking up.
Right.
So,
yeah, ultimately. It's just, I don't know about, just hearing that sounded like so foreign in my ears, is that Germany isn't ready for good beer.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know, man. Like,
have you heard?
Yeah, I think Oktoberfest would say otherwise.
Right, yeah.
Good Lord.
All the good styles they do have. So it's very interesting. I would imagine that Germany may not be ready for the West Coast IPAs of Stone.
Could be.
You know, that's a palate breaking IPA
It's
right
just
there.
interesting how things like that do well in the States sometimes don't like translate overseas. Like Disneyland didn't, like the one in Europe like shut down after like a month or something. Or
Oh, I don't know, because I know they're open now.
Oh, are they?
Yeah.
Oh, well, maybe I don't know.
I think the one in China had some issues.
Oh, something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's interesting. So Brewdog's going to take it over. They're going to make some changes and then open it hopefully by the end of May is their goal. So, yeah, that was a huge kind of breaking news last week. No one saw that coming. It was very unexpected. Ninkasi Brewing sells a majority stake in their brewery. They sold a majority stake to Legacy Breweries, Inc., an upstart venture led by former Yakima chief CEO Don Bryant that aims to acquire U.S. craft breweries. So they're essentially starting a company that's going to be like Canarchy, which is the parent company to Oscar Blues.
Oh.
They own Cigar City Brewing, Oscar Blues, the Utah Brewers Collective, Perrin Brewing, and Three Weavers. So we were talking about like the top breweries a few weeks ago of 2018.
Yeah.
And we're saying how like Canarchy was one of the top 10, but that's kind of bullshit because they have like 8 breweries under their name.
Yeah.
They're kind of starting one of those same collectives. So that might be the way to make money in craft beer in the near
interesting.
future.
Yeah, it's like all these craft beers are kind of falling under like one like umbrella of like other craft beer companies.
Right, just like Firestone and Ommegang are both owned by Duvel or whatever. So
that is weird.
You know, I guess you might get some better buying power. You can buy things in even bigger bulk than, you already are. Maybe that helps. Distribution helps. So interesting to see what happens. And so Ninkasi will be the first brand under that umbrella, and then it'll go from there.
I wonder if there'll ever be a day when good beer becomes big beer. Like, what if all these umbrellas get together and make bigger umbrellas?
Oh, make one big umbrella?
Yeah, and then take them out.
Yeah? More than just a sellout to big beer, but they become the big beer?
Yeah.
That would be interesting. Very, what's that Leonardo DiCaprio movie?
Inception?
Very Inception of you.
Oh, yeah, very stoner-esque.
Yeah, exactly.
I was thinking Titanic.
Well, the craft beer industry sink. Constellation Brands their sales top $8.1 billion in fiscal year 2019. They're just making so much money.
Wow.
Yeah. Goddamn. Speaking of big beer. Net sales of Constellation Brands, beer brands, including Mexican import labels Corona, Modelo, and Pacifico, as well as Ballast Point, Funky Buddha, and Four Corners, increased 11.6% to more than 5.2 billion. Beer shipment volumes and depletions grew 9.7% and 8.8%, respectively. So they're just making so much money. Stop drinking Ballast Point.
Yeah.
You know, it's a funny story. I should have told when I was talking about the Brewtenanny from this weekend. I was at Five Threads with the Brewtenanny. I'm talking to Coley. She's got her corporate beer sucks shirt on, and it's in the style of Golden Road. It looks like a Golden Road label, but it says corporate beer sucks.
Okay.
It's a phenomenal shirt.
Mm-hmm.
Some guy sees it and goes, "That's an awesome shirt. I love Golden Road."
Oh, my God.
And she's like, "I think you better look again." And
he's okay.
Yeah. So he looks and he's like, "Oh," and he's like, "Never mind. I hate that shirt now."
Oh my God.
And he dips into his wallet and he pulls out this card. I forget, it's like the Brew Club or some stupid club, and he's number 31. He was one of the original Mug Club people at Golden Road.
Right?
And so he's like, Golden Road's the best. He's like, and guess what? I also love Lagunitas and I love Sculpin too.
Oh.
And I was like, congrats. And he was being a real dick. And it was just her and I standing there talking. And I was like, congratulations. You like shit beer. Like, whatever. You have a card that says you like shit beer in your wallet. That's awesome. And he's like, yeah, well, everything's going to be big beer now anyway. He's like, Ballast Point, or not Ballast Point, Green Flash just sold out to Stone. I was like, well, no, they sold out to an investment firm because they went under. He's like, no, it's Stone. I was like, it's really not. But then he's like, they did it through offshore accounts. I said, all right, fine, dude. Who gives a fuck?
All right.
And he stands up. And I was like, oh my God. I leaned over, like Shannon had just walked over. And I was like, leaning over to her, to the lady friend. I was like, I think I might be getting in a fight. Because he was being a total dick to Coley.
Right.
And then he's talking shit to me. No, it's offshore accounts. And he stands up and looks, and he was not a small person, and looks at me. I'm like, fuck, here we go.
You're like,
here we go.
You're like, Big Dick Nick.
Yeah. No. BDN was smashed.
Oh, my God.
I was telling him the story the next day when I saw him, and he's like, oh, we would have gotten in a fight. I was like, we wouldn't have done shit. I said, I think it would have been all on me. You'd have tripped over your shoelaces. He was so schmammered that night. But
man.
So he got up, and I was like, here we go. And he just walks past us and, like, walks out. It was so weird. I was like, dude, go fuck yourself.
Maybe he did.
It probably did. And they're staring at her shirt for too long. I was like, I can't handle it. Fuck Big Beer. And that guy.
And that guy.
Speaking of Big Beer, Mozee San Miguel, along with Founders, they own a portion of Founders. They also own 30% of Avery, is buying another 40% of Avery, so they'll have 70% control.
Wow.
They're kind of putting together this network where Founders and Avery are like brewing for each other and distributing for each other. It's another one of these weird collectives, though. It's not craft because Mozee San Miguel is definitely Big Beer.
Correct.
Heineken USA gets slapped with a huge fine for trade practice violations. $2.5 million to settle their violations. Essentially, they were going around to bars and saying, you should buy our tap system, which, oh, by the way, only works on our kegs. It's like a special tap system. And then they were reimbursing them secretly. In either like equivalent of free beer to the price of their tap system, or just whatever. They were secretly reimbursing them for buying Heineken's tap system, which is totally against the law. You can't do that. Oh, wow. And then they were even trying to push on the rug by saying, oh no, the free beer we were giving out was for samples. Like they were sampling at events and marketing.
That's like a sneaky way of getting away with it.
Yeah, well, they didn't get away. They got caught.
Wow.
The investigation started in Florida, and they found out it was nationwide. And so,
take that.
So now they're getting slapped with the fine. They offered. This is how bad it is. They said, "Well, how about we pay $2.5 million?" They set them out.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're like, "We'll pay $2.5 million to make this go away," and they're like, "Okay, here we go."
Dang,
so that's how bad it was.
Wow, they're almost out the door, huh? They just keep getting like in trouble.
Yeah, but they're making enough money to where it doesn't matter. So
damn.
Yeah. Anyways, that's all for us tonight as we start to run out of time here. Thank you all for listening. Thanks once again to everybody that came out and saw us at Frühlingsfest and came and say hi and press the flesh and grab some stickers and record your drunk stories. Those will start coming out on the show soon.
Listener not Mike with the beer.
Right. Listener not Mike. Thank you for donating the Will Dan poured out beer.
Yep.
Sans the Mike.
Sans Mike. Yeah.
Sans Mike.
Sans Mike.
Now Michael.
Perfect. Thank you all for listening. You can find us at theunfilteredgentleman.com, on social medias at theunfilteredgentleman, except for Twitter. Fuck you, Twitter. At unfilteredgents. Once again, you want to leave us a drunk voicemail, 805-538-BEER, 2337. I think that's everything. So I hope everyone out there is staying very well hydrated.
Yep.
And on that note, good night, everybody.